Hey everyone, today we're going to do something that we haven't done in a while, and that is a Q&A video. So we asked you guys on Patreon and on Facebook to submit to us any question you have, whether it's RVing, travel related, or not. You know, whatever it is, we'll answer it. But before we do that, we want to share something really exciting with you guys. Ro?
Drumroll.
What
is it, you may be asking? Well, it's obviously from YouTube. And for those of you that don't know, maybe you're new to our channel. Maybe you've been following us for a long time, but you didn't see any posts or anything about this. This is
our silver play button. Yeah, we recently hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, and YouTube sent us this award plaque.
Yes.
It's pretty awesome.
It's awesome.
Nice and shiny. It says, presented to Fate Unbound for passing 100,000 subscribers. We're gonna hang this up on our wall here in the RV, and yeah, we're really excited.
Yeah, it's way bigger than we thought it was going to be. Honestly, I thought it was going to be maybe half the size, like this big. I thought it was going to be really small, but no, it's bigger than a sheet of paper, and it has two places on the back to hang it up. So we're going to hang it up, I think, on David's side of the RV over there. Yeah, it may end up being the only play button we ever get. Yeah. So we're pretty excited about it. And we wanted to, again, thank all of you, because the only reason we have this is because you guys are subscribed to us, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super awesome.
Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and that's one of the main reasons that we do these Q&A videos, is for you guys, you know, just to answer any questions that you might have, but...
whether it's RVing or not. I mean, if you just want to know about us, that's fine too, so... Alright, I say we get right into it. We are going to do this in a very specific order, though. We asked our patrons first, so we're going to answer our patrons' questions first. Then we're going to answer our former patrons' questions, and then we're going to answer as many questions after that as we can fit into this video. And so I believe that we're starting with Franklin. He has asked us a couple of questions, and we're going to start with this one.
The first one is, what are the top 3 places that y'all have visited and why? For me, the coolest place that we have seen is Carlsbad Caverns National Park. I just love caves. We've been through Mammoth Caves National Park too, and both of those just blew my mind. So for me, definitely Carlsbad Caverns. It's just so massive and so expansive in there, and we actually didn't even get to go through the whole place because we just spent way too much time at the earlier sections, just like looking all around, just feeling like, oh my goodness, that by the time we got to the end, they actually started closing the park down. And then what's your favorite place?
My favorite place is definitely Canyonlands National Park. It's just so gorgeous. So I had a really hard time picking my favorite place because we've been to so many gorgeous places. And I actually wanted to lump all of Moab area together because Canyonlands National Park is really close to Moab, Utah, and there are a lot of other places to see there too, but I think hands down Canyonlands has to be my favorite.
Yeah, and what's so cool about Canyonlands is just like the scale is...
it's massive.
You just can't really understand such... just the scale of how big the canyons are in Canyonlands until you actually go there. I remember going out to the very first viewpoint and just being like, what? Like, as you're like walking up to it and it just like reveals itself below, and you're just like, what the heck? It's just, I wasn't expecting it to be that grand.
Yeah, despite the fact that it's called Canyonlands, it's a land of canyon. Yeah. We didn't expect it to be that big. We really didn't. It was just massive, and we haven't been to the Grand Canyon yet, so we didn't have anything to compare it to. So we had never seen something so awe-inspiring at that time. So.
And then Arches National Park is right by Canyonlands, and that would be our third favorite place. Well, in no particular order, really.
No
but
order.
Another favorite place that we've been, just because I've never seen any like land like that, and after doing some research, it turns out that the Arches National Park area, and sort of the Moab area in general, is an incredibly unique part of the Earth, and there's only one place in the entire Earth that has similar terrain to that, and that is in the Middle East, in the country of Jordan. So that's pretty crazy.
Franklin asked another question. He says, if both of you had to do it all over again, what would you change and why? And I think our answers are the same.
Oh yeah, they're definitely the same. And the first one is that instead of getting a 2-wheel drive truck, we'd have gotten a 4x4 in the beginning.
Right off the bat.
And then the second one is that we would have started sooner. And we're already really thankful that we were able to do this so early in our lives, but I still would have liked to start it even sooner.
Yeah, if we had known about it sooner, we definitely would have started it many years.
Yeah.
Many years earlier.
And then Franklin had one last question, and he asked, if your batteries were completely drained, how long would it take to completely recharge on the propane generator by itself? That question is somewhat difficult to answer just because our converter charger is a 3-step converter. So, it reduces how much amperage it sends to our batteries when it is being charged by, shore power or by a generator. But it would take about 8 hours, probably. And that is because when our converter charger is bulk charging, it's usually sending about 50 amps. So, we have 400 amp hours of battery storage divided by 50 amps. That would be 8 hours.
Our next question from one of our patrons, Paul, is, when all this craziness ends, do you plan to have meetups during your journeys around the country? And yes, we've actually had plans over the last 2 years to have multiple meetups. By this time, we would have had 3 more meetups since we stopped having them, but it is just too unsafe to have large gatherings right now, so we haven't been. And when it is safe to have large gatherings again, then yes, we fully plan on having meetups all across the country.
Yeah, we loved meeting you guys and getting to know you and talking. Our meetups we've only been able to hold 2, right? 3? 3. And they were just so much fun. We had a ton of fun meeting you guys. And yeah, absolutely. When the pandemic is over, we'd love to.
Next question's from Ron, and he wants to know, how is the washing machine doing? And many of you know, I have a hand washing machine. It's basically just a bucket with a lid, and you just spin it with water and soap in there. And it actually works really well. I was very surprised at how well it got our clothes clean, and it was $40 when I bought it 3 years ago, and I'm still using it. Now, it is beginning to fail. The seal at the top doesn't seal completely, so when I spin it, water just kind of dumps out.
It's more of a fast leak.
It's a fast leak, which is fine because by the time I'm done spinning it, it hasn't really lost a lot of water, but it seems like it's losing a lot. But for the most part, it's held up really well. And so when it does officially fail, I'm gonna get the same one again.
Yeah, and if you're curious what it's called the Wonder Wash. We picked it up on Amazon, and we have a really, really old video that shows how we do our laundry, and we still do it the same exact way. And to dry our clothes, we just hang them up to air dry.
Yep.
And then Ron has another question, and he asks, any regrets with the composting toilet? And I would say no. I think the composting toilet is better to have for our situation than to not have. The biggest thing that I would say to people if they're thinking about getting a composting toilet or not is the biggest ways it's going to help you out is it's going to allow you to have more gray water storage because you can combine your gray and your black water tanks into one big gray water tank like we did. And it will also save you money by not having to go to dump stations as often, probably, because, you're not filling up 2 separate tanks with separate types of water, black water and gray water. So you can probably go longer between dumps. And it will also save you water if you boondock a lot. That's the
biggest thing.
Yeah, so if you're going to be boondocking very, very often, then you will see benefits from a composting toilet. However, if you're staying in RV parks more often, where there's a dump station right there and you have unlimited water, then it's probably not as big of a benefit.
Our next question is from our patron Lori Vargas, and she asks, you've been on the road for 3 years. Do you see your travel trailer holding up as well to last you for another 3+ years? I know you take excellent care of your Springdale. I would say that it will probably last us another 3 and many more years after that even, I know that we take it down some really bumpy back roads, and, you know, we boondock with it constantly.
I'm actually extremely surprised that our travel trailer has held up as well as it has, especially the suspension and everything, with exactly what Rose said. But yeah, I'm really happy with how well it's held up. We've had to perform maintenance here and there. Things have started to fall apart a little, separate, whatever. But as soon as you notice those things happening, you take care of it immediately, so that stuff doesn't start to pile up. But I think it will last, and I really do foresee us being in this travel trailer for the life of it. We love it. It's a great trailer, and it fits our way of traveling perfectly. Yeah,
we'll probably be the one and only owners of this travel trailer because it'll fall apart before we want to get rid of it. Lori also asked if we have an update on Alice. We do. Many of you know that David's gonna grab it real quick. Many of you know we had a scare with her. She got really, really sick when we were in South Dakota, and she ended up actually having to go to a vet hospital for many days, and we were unsure if she was gonna make it through, but she is doing wonderful. She has had one random bout about a month after that where she started to get sick. We ended up calling that vet hospital again. And they, like we said in that video, they have been so helpful. And even though we weren't even there, we were in Washington at the time, we were able to call them, talk to the same vet that worked on her, and she said, you know, just watch her. If she's sick 2 days in a row, take her to your nearest vet, and we'll give them all the information, tell them what we helped her through and all that stuff, so hopefully they can fix her up again. But she stopped getting sick.
Yeah, so she's doing great, and you know, we made an entire video on, you know, what happened, and, you know, as it was going on, and silver linings to all that is that, you know, Alice almost died, and there was a time where we were very much thinking, you know, we're never gonna be able to see her healthy again. And so the silver lining to that whole situation is that we appreciate every moment we get with this little kitten. I hold her, and like I look at her, and a lot of times I just think to myself, you know,
Aww. Yeah.
I'm just very thankful, you know.
Super thankful. Every time we pick her up, every time we pet her, I remember that we were this close to losing her and never having her again.
This is bonus time. It's all bonus time in my mind, so it's awesome.
She's so tired.
And she's so young. She's only 2 years old, so we have 16-ish years or so with her now ahead of us, and I'm really thankful for that.
And last question from Lori. She asked, I'm a TV addict. Do you have a TV, and can you watch TV programs on your laptop? We do not have a TV. We did have a TV when we lived in a house, but it actually wasn't ours. Yeah. It was David's dad's. It was a borrowed
TV. We don't watch a whole lot of TV. However, we do have Hulu and Netflix. And so if we want to watch something, then we can usually find it there. And other than that,
we like movies.
We like movies, but other than that, the main thing that we watch is YouTube. We just watch a ton of YouTube, and we just watch that on our phones because we have unlimited data.
Yeah, and while it would be nice to have a TV somewhere in the RV, especially over by the bed where we could just watch a movie while laying in bed, it's really not that hard to just grab one of our laptops and set it up, put a disc in it, and just watch it from the laptop screen.
And that's what we do.
Yep.
Our next question is from Riley, and she asks, how old are all of your animals? Do you plan on getting any more? So if you're unfamiliar, we have 5 animals in this tiny space with us. Our first is our Rottweiler, and she is 7 years old. Her name is Sweetie. We have a cat right there. Her name is Butters, and she is 9 years old?
She's 9 years old.
Yeah. And Alice, who we just showed, is 2 years old. And then we have 2 rabbits, Min and Tat. And I believe they're both 4, right?
They are both 4. Min is about to be 5 next month.
Yeah.
In November, so. And to answer the question as to if we plan on getting any more,
no.
I had to sign a contract.
Yeah. This is not a joke.
I had to sign a contract with David when he agreed to get Alice because she booped my nose and I just had to have her. It was the cutest little thing, okay? And I had to sign a contract saying that I would not ask for any more pets while we had this many pets.
Yeah, and it's because every single animal we got went this exact way. David, can we get whatever such and such animal? no, Ro, I don't want I don't want animals right now. Can we not get one? Oh, but please, please, please. And then just bug, nag, nag, nag until I cave. And so I was like, every single one of them. And I love them all. Seriously, like Alice, the last one we got even, I'm so happy that we have her. And I've thanked Ro many, many times for bugging me to get one, or to get her. But enough is enough.
I love animals, though.
I know, and we have plenty.
I love saving animals.
I know.
Yeah. We will have animals again in the future. We will never not have animals.
Yeah, exactly.
But for right now...
5 is enough.
Yeah, 5.
In a less than 200 square foot area. 5
is plenty.
Our next question comes from Joanne, and she asks, will you guys be traveling to new destinations? Of course. You know, that's like the whole point of doing this, is to see the country. And so, yeah, we absolutely will be traveling to new places. And we're so pumped for when all of this craziness is over and we can start going to national parks again, going on the busy trails, you know, that are really popular, and seeing all of the most epic places in the country. With that said, though, we will also still be returning to a lot of the places you guys are seeing time and time again, because we love those places. Yeah, and so there's always going to be a healthy mix on our channel. We're always going to be going and seeing new places, but throughout the year, we're still going to be going back to some of the places that we continue to go back to. The next question is actually asked by my Aunt Linda, and she asks, how do you two decide where to go next? And Aunt Linda, that question is actually going to be answered in an entire video we're devoting to answering that question. So that's going to be coming up in a couple weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not exactly sure.
2 to 3.
Yeah, so just wait for that, because I can answer that way better in that whole video than in just this, small section.
Next question is from Tina, and she asks, in the beginning, did we use campgrounds for getting used to being on the road, or did we always boondock on BLM land? She also asks, going along with that, now 3 years later, what is the percentage of free versus site fees? And so we just kind of went for it, and our first destination was a boondocking spot, and I think we've stayed in less than 10 paid campgrounds over the last 3 years. I think it's less than 5, actually.
Yeah, we've actually, the last time we stayed in a paid site in an RV park, state park, county park, anything like that, any sort of RV park, it's been 2 years, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think we've paid for a place.
Yeah, and so the percentage is like 99% of the places we stay are out in the National Forest or on BLM land boondocking. The very first place we went was also, and the main reason is because that's exactly what we wanted to do. That was like our ideal version of full-time RVing, was being out in nature, out in the National Forest, alone, with the solitude of nature. You walk out your front door and you hear nothing except the wind through the leaves. Oh, it's awesome.
Anna asks, how do you handle car and trailer registration? Do you go back to your home state and register once a year? What does all of that look like? That's a very easy question to answer. In Indiana, which is where our trailer and our truck are registered, we can renew our registration online. So we're able to renew anywhere across the country. Yep. They ship it to David's dad's house, and then his dad just forwards it on to us, which is super convenient. Not everybody has that luxury, but luckily his dad offered that for us, so that's what we use.
Yeah, my dad's pretty awesome for doing that for us. We super appreciate it.
Yeah. The next question is from Mark, and it's actually related to the last question, and it is, somebody mentioned snail mail, but I was wondering, how do we receive packages from Amazon or otherwise? And it's very similar. If we want something when we're out camping somewhere and we don't need it right away, we'll just have it shipped to David's parents' house, because they can either ship it to us to where we don't have to wait in an area to make sure that it gets there while we're still there, or we can just pick it up the next time we're home, which is what we normally do. We just pick it up. But if we need something and we have to order it online, we really like to go through Amazon, because a lot of places there are what are known as Amazon lockers, and you can select through Amazon's website a locker destination instead of an address, and it is literally just a locker.
Yep.
They email you a code, and you just type in the number, and you can pull your package out and drive away with it. It's no big deal.
Unfortunately, those are pretty much only near big cities, though. So if we're not near a big city that has Amazon lockers, then we will have it shipped to a UPS store. They will receive packages for you. There is a fee. It's about $5 if the package isn't too big. And then if it is a big package, the fee gets a little bigger. But for us, it's totally worth it.
Yeah.
Honey asks, are you still liking the blinds you put up? Any changes you would make regarding them? And we love the blinds we put up. They're day-night roller shades. And, I'll show you this one right here. This is the the day shade. You can see how it just blocks like some of the light intensity, but you can still see through it because it's just a mesh similar to a screen. And then if we don't want anyone to see in, or if we want to block all the light, we've got the nightshade, and they're super easy to pull down, and we've had them, how long now? Has it been 2 years?
2 years.
It's been about 2 years, and we made a video on installing these and everything. Oh, and they're slow rise. So slow rise means you just have to pull it down and it just goes up by itself. You don't have to like assist it back up. They are from a company called Irvine Shade. I actually had to look it up. I had to go back to our video, which is actually a good thing because we haven't had to contact them for anything. It's been this long and we haven't had any issues. No, we love them, and I believe Irvine Shade is the company that creates the day-night roller shades that they put in the Montana fifth wheels. So yeah, they put them in Keystone products already, and yeah, we love them. So check out their website. You just Google Irvine Shades for RVs or something like that. And yeah, we made a whole video on it that you can check out also.
Next question is from Laura, and she wants to know when and why did Ro change her name? And Mike actually commented saying that he was wondering that too. So, I changed my name. I guess I didn't really change my name. I just changed what I was going by. So my first name is Jenny and my middle name is Ro. And I was going by Jenny for a long time, but it's not really a name that I really connect with very well. So I've been going by my middle name of Ro for over a year now with my friends and family, so we just thought it was kind of weird that whenever we would get the camera out, David would call me Jenny, and it would be really weird because he doesn't call me that anymore. So we decided to just let all of you know that I was also going by Ro.
Well, it was like, you were going by Ro with friends and family, and you guys are all our friends too, so it just felt weird to not include you in on that. It's like, just going by Ro now. So, yeah.
We have another question from Anna, and she actually asks a couple questions, so I'm just going to answer them in order. She asks, how are we voting? And we actually planned on doing absentee ballots because we had no plans to be in Indiana during election time, but David's grandma recently passed away, so we had to come home to spend some time with family. And while we were here, we decided to just go ahead and vote early. So we went in. It was not a super long line. It was socially distanced. Everybody had to wear masks, and it was actually really fast. We were there for less than an hour.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, but for those of you that are traveling outside of the state where you can vote, or where you normally vote at, you can, like here in Indiana, we could have requested an absentee ballot. They would then mail us information we had to fill out, and then we'd have to send that back in. Then they would mail us a ballot that we had to fill out. Then we'd have to send that back in. So like it's kind of a process that we would have to go through.
But it's an important one.
It is, yeah. So I know that if you are going to be wanting to vote absentee, you have to do it kind of well in advance, get all the information together so that you're not missing deadlines and stuff.
Yeah. And then her next question is completely 90-degree from that one and is asking about the pets. And she asked, do you let the cats out of the RV on a leash ever? And yeah, we do. Our cats love going outside. Sometimes Butters goes and sits by our door.
Sometimes? This is multiple times a day.
Every single day. Yeah, sorry. Every single day she'll go and she'll just be meowing and she'll look at you. She'll look you right in the eye and just meow and just paw at the door and want out. So
it's really cute.
we'll either throw her on a harness, but what's easier is I'll just pick her up, I'll throw her over my shoulder, and we'll just walk on outside, and I'll just hold her on my shoulder, and she's really calm. She'll just sit there on my shoulder and just look around. She has the time of her life. She loves it so much that when I'm done and I bring her back inside, she'll just start rolling around on the ground, like you know how cats do if you've ever seen it, and she's just like so happy. She'll just be rolling around left and right and just meowing, and
she's so
she
happy.
Loves it.
And then when it comes to Alice, her nickname is actually Alice the Adventure Cat, and the reason is because whenever we go hiking and we don't take Sweetie, but pets are allowed on the trail, we'll take Alice instead. And it's really funny. We have a hiking backpack, and then we'll just stuff like the bottom of it with like
a sweatshirt or something.
A sweatshirt or something, and then she just sits right in there. She loves it. Loves it. And I mean, she'll hide in there from, like, we've seen other dogs on the trail that have been really hyper, so she doesn't want to wander around on her leash or anything, so she'll just hide in the backpack.
Down in the backpack.
Yeah, or if it's windy, you'll just see her, like, she'll poke her head out, look around a little bit, pop it back in.
Yeah.
It's so cute. So, yeah, Alice really likes to go out there, too, but she still has a harness on when we do that.
Oh, yeah. And then the last question that we're going to answer in this video is from Brian. And he asks, do you ever use your solar for AC? And when using your Westinghouse generator, how much fuel are you using to power your AC and for how long? So the short answer to powering AC with solar is that it's just not really feasible unless you have a ton of room for a massive battery bank and you have just an insane amount of money to buy all those batteries.
And lots of solar panels, because you have to be able to fill those batteries pretty quickly if you're pulling from them quickly. Yeah,
so a big misunderstanding that a lot of people have is that the solar panels don't power anything. All the solar panels do is they recharge the batteries, and then the batteries power everything. And our air conditioning unit draws 75 amps from a 12-volt power source to run it. It's 7.5 amps from a 120-volt power source, which is shore cable or our generator, but 75 amps from a 12-volt. And if you're familiar with electricity at all, 75 amps is a huge amount of amperage. It's a huge amount of current, and it's going to kill our battery bank in 2, maybe 3 hours if we're lucky. Mm-hmm. So running our air conditioner off of our battery bank, our solar, is just not really feasible. So what we do, I mean, that's one of the main reasons we have a generator. We have a small inverter generator that if it gets way too hot, we can connect to our trailer, fire it up, and run our air conditioner, which is, Brian's next question, which was, how much fuel do you use to power your AC and for how long?
We actually don't have the Westinghouse anymore. We have a Honda, which we have put a propane conversion on. Yeah. So we don't use gasoline anymore. We use propane because we always have it on hand. So it was much more convenient for us to have a propane generator.
Yeah, and I would think we have 30-pound propane tanks. We upgraded to larger propane tanks. So we can, and we have 2 of them. So our Honda generator will run for 32 hours at 1/4 load off of a 20-pound propane tank. So off of 2 30s, it'll run for a really, really long time. We've never tested it. We have no idea how long, but we've never ran out of propane because we've been running our generator. Right. Yeah. To sum all that up again, don't bother attempting to get a large enough solar system to run your air conditioner off of it. It's just not really feasible unless you have just an insane amount of room and money. It's much easier. Yeah, just get a generator. Or do what we do, travel with the
weather.
Climate. Yeah. If it's too hot, and you need,
way.
If it's too hot and you need to be running a generator constantly for air conditioning, get the heck out of there. Head to higher elevation, head up north, something to beat the heat. And if you're curious about how we run a air conditioner off of a small inverter generator, we've got a whole video on the Micro Air EASYSTART that we installed to allow us to do that. And we also have another video on the propane conversion we did on our Honda generator. I'll go ahead and drop links in the description below if you're curious about that. But those are all the questions we're answering in this video because we don't want this video to be massive, huge,
it's
long. It's
probably already really long.
Yeah.
So.
But if you have more questions, if we didn't get to your guys' question, then the best thing you can do is come to one of our live streams. We hold them, once or twice a month. Or maybe when we're traveling, we usually go live, and they're basically just big Q&A sessions. So, come to a live stream, ask your questions there, and hopefully we can see your question and answer it there. But yeah, that's all for this video. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye. Wait a second. We gotta let them see Sweetie. There were questions about her and the pets.
Okay.
Phoebe, come on. Come on, big girl. Oh, hi.
There she is.
Hi, big girl.
They can only see what the back of her head.
There she is.
There she is.
Sweetie girl. Say bye-bye. Good girl.
Good girl.